Timotab, and today I'm going to solve 19 Shapes of Grey by Elytron. Normal sudoku rules apply, so we're going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits separated by a black shape are in a 1 to 2 ratio. Digits separated by a white shape are consecutive, and digits separated by a grey shape are neither. So what that means is that because we can see that there is a black shape here, one of these will be double the other. If there are a white shape there, they could be consecutive. This grey shape is telling us that this can neither be one double the other or consecutive digits. Shapes are made up of semicircles and semisquares, resulting in either a full circle, a full square, or a circle square, which may be rotated in any direction. Digits separated by a circle add up to 9. If they're added up by a circle, separated by a circle square, they add up to 12. And if they are separated by a square, they add up to 15. Okay. And fog. The grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placed digits will clear the fog around that cell. No guessing is required. So if I correctly deduce this digit, then all of these digits will be cleared, all the cells will be cleared. All right. I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. So these two digits are in a 1 to 2 ratio. So they are 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8, or 3, 6. It is also either a full circle or a circle square. And a full circle adds up to 9, and a circle square adds up to 12. So that means that this is either 3, 6 if this is a full circle, or it's 4, 8 if it's a circle square. Okay. These two cells sum to either 12 or 15 because it's either a circle square or it's a full square. But they also can't be in a 1 to 2 ratio or consecutive. So if these added up to 15, this could not be an 8 because this would be a 7 and would be consecutive, but I can't do that on a grey shape. So if that's 15, I can't put an 8 there. If it is a square circle, they add up to 12 and would be 8, 4. But I can't have a 1 to 2 ratio there. So that can't be an 8, which means that can't be a 4. Okay, if this were 6, it can't add up to 12. So it would have to be a square, and these would add up to 15, and so this would be a 9. If this were 4, I can't add up to 15, can't get high enough, and adding up to 12 would make this 4, 8, but that would be one double the other, which a grey symbol cannot do. So that can't be 4. That makes that a 3, 6 pair. Okay, so now if this is a 3, it can't add up to 15, would have to add up to 12, so this is a 9 either way. Very nice. And then that sums to 9 because it's a circle. Right. So these are consecutive digits because they are a white symbol and have to add up to 12 or 15. Well, consecutive digits always add up to an odd number because there'll be one odd and one even. So they can't add up to 12. They must add up to 15. They have to be consecutive. That has to be a 7-8 pair. Huh. Right. Now that we know that this is a square, it adds up to 15. That makes this a 6. That makes this a 3. That's useful to actually finish off all of these. All right. This is a square or square circle. So they either add up to 12 or to 15. Okay, if this adds up to 15, then the only way to do that now that 6 isn't available is 7-8, but that would make them consecutive, which I can't do on a grey symbol. So this must add up to 12. Can't be 3-9. Could be 4-8, except that's in a 1-to-2 ratio. So this must be 5-7. Okay. This is a square circle or a square. If it's a square, it adds up to 15. Can't use a 9, would have to be 7-8. And if it's 7-8, they are consecutive, which I can't do on a grey digit. So they add up to 12. Can't be 9-3. Can't be 8-4 because that's one double the other. So again, that is also 5 or 7. That gives me a 5-7 pair in the box, which makes that an 8. This is 7. Okay. Here we have a square circle which adds to 12. So that can't be 8-4 because one's double the other. It can't be 7-5 because of the 7 in the box. So that must be 9-3, and this 3 tells us the order. That's a 9, that's a 3. This dot circle adds up to 9 without being consecutive or one double the other. So it can't be 4-5 because they would be consecutive. It can't be 3-6 for multiple reasons. So 7-2 or 1-8. And it can't be 7-2 because of that. So that's a 1-8 pair. Okay. Consecutive digits, and they add up to either 9 or 12. Consecutive digits always add up to a odd number, so that has to be 9. So that's got to be 4-5, and because of the 5-7 pair in the column, that's the 4, that's the 5. This is really nice and an interesting thing to figure out. Okay, this square adds up to 15, but cannot be 7-8 because they can't be consecutive. So this must be 6-9. But I don't think I know the order. Okay. Okay, if this were a full square, it would have to add up to 15, but could not be 7-8 because they're consecutive and that's grey, but it can't be 6-9 because that would break that square, that cell. So This must be a square circle which adds up to 12. Can't be 5, 7 because of this. Can't be 8, 4 because that's one double the other. So it's got to be 9, 3. That makes this a 6 and this the 9. Okay. Now it looks like I've got some Sudoku to do because I don't have any symbols to do anything with. Oh, this 5, where does it go in this box? Can't go there, can't go there, that must go there. And that's not revealing anything, but this 4 now goes here. Aha. So this is, one is double the other, and it adds up either to 9 or 12. So that's either 3, 6 or 4, 8, but it can't be 4, 8 because of this, so it is a 3, 6, and this 6 tells us which way. That's 3. That is 6. And these two digits are 2 and 6. All right. So these three are 1, 2, and 4. To complete the box, that's not a 1, that's not a 4. This 9 is 3 and 9. All right. We have a circle which adds up to 9 but cannot be consecutive. So it could be 1, 8, it could be 2, 7, but it can't be 3, 6 because they're already used, and it can't be 4, 5. So that's 1, 8 or 2, 7. These two are adding up to 12 or 15. If it were 15, it would have to be 7, 8 because of what our candidate's here, but 7, 8 can't go on grey. So they are adding up to 12. And in fact, 1 and 2 can't add up to 12 either. You can't put 1 or 2 on a square or square circle. So that is not 1 or 2. That is 1 or 2. So these two add to 12, but if this were 8, this would be 4, which is in a 1 to 2 ratio, and not allowed on grey. So that is 7. That is 5. 7 plus 2 is 9, so we can complete that. All right, by Sudoku, 7 is not in those, 7 is not in those, and not that one either. So that's a 7. We have a black dot, or a black circle or square circle. So 1 to 2 ratio, and adds up to 9 or 12, which would be 8, 4 or 3, 6. Can't be 3, 6 because that cell can be neither, so it must be 8, 4. And now I think I must have more Sudoku to do. I've got a 9 in one of those two. I've got a 6 in one of those two. Have 4 in one of those two. 1, 4, 5, and 8 go in this box, and they are not 5. Hmm. One, 2, 6, and 8 go there. Ah, this 4 means that that's not a 4 there. So we get a 1, 8 pair, and that gives me a 4, 5 pair there. And 8 is in one of those two. 8 is in one of those two. That uses up all of the 8s in rows 8 and 9. So that can't be an 8, that's a 4. And that's an 8. That resolves this 5 and 4. That is not a 2. Okay, we have a grey circle or circle square. So adding up to 12 or 15. So if it adds up to 15, it's 9, 6, which is certainly possible. If it adds up to 12, could be 5, 7, can't be 8, 4, could be 3, 9. Okay, it can't be 3, 9 because of that. So what did we say? We said if it adds up to 15, then it's 9, 6. And if it adds up to 12, it's 9, 3. No, can't be 9, 3. If it adds up to 15, it's 9, 6, and that would be a 9 there and a 6 there. If it adds up to 12, it must be 5, 7. Yeah, 5, 7, 8, 4, or 9, 3. Yeah, so it'd be 5, 7. So that would be a 5, and that would be a 7. Okay. Looks like we have more sudoku to do. Okay, one of those is a 5 by these two, and it's not that one. That's a 5. These 3 digits are 1, 2, and 7. But that's not a 1. So one of those two is a 1. Right, these 3 digits are 1, 4, and 8. And that's not 4. So 4 is one of those two. Okay, is there something that I am missing? Nines. Okay, well, I have a 9 in one of those two. and that makes that 9. So this, it must be a known digit. That must be a 6. No, that's a 2. All right, that's a 2. So these are 3, 6, 1, and 8. That's not a 3. That's not 6. Right, 2's not very helpful. 3. So 3's one of those. 4 is in one of those two. What am I missing? This is the only symbol. Have I miscalculated this symbol? All right, this is non-consecutive and not one double the other, and adds up to 12 or 9. Okay, that would be a problem. I did 12 or 15. That's a circle, not a square. So it's a circle square, which would be 12, or a... Right, let's calculate this again. So this adds up to 9 or 12. If it adds up to 12, it's not 8, 4, it's not 9, 3, it must be 7, 5. If it adds up to 9, then it can't be 1, 8. It can't be 2, 7, because that can't be either. It can't be 3, 6, because that's in a 1 to 2 ratio, so it must be 4, 5, which it can't be. That's 7, that's 5. Okay, doing the right kind of symbol will probably help quite a lot when you do your solve. This here is a dot that adds up to 9 and can't be 4, 5. Circles add up to 9, can't be 4, 5. So that can't be a 4. That's a 4. It can't be 3, 6 because that's in a 1 to 2 ratio. It can't be 2, 7 because of that 7, so it must be a 1, 8. I don't yet know the order, but that 1, 8 pair makes that a 6. And then that sees a 1, 8 pair and a 6, so that's a 3. I have a 1, 8 and a 2, 6 pair in the row, so this is 3 and 9. And then these two are 2 and 6. Don't think I know the order, but this 1, 8 pair means that that is not a 1, and that is 7 is not in one of those two. Okay, never mind. Let's ignore that for now. All right, more sudoku. I don't think I have any partially covered symbols apart from that one, and I'm very sure I got that right. So it must be Sudoku. Somewhere. The key is finding where. All right. Need a 4 in one of those two. No. All right. Yes, I can place a 5 here. I've got that 5, 7 means that none of those are 5s or 7s. And then these 5s means that those two aren't 5s, so that's a 5. Likewise, none of those are 7s, and now that's not a 7 because of that, so that's a 7. It was indeed Sudoku. All right, we have a grey circle or circle square, so that adds up to either 9 or 12. Okay. If it adds up to 12, it has to be 9, 3. And it would have to be 9 there and 3 there. If it adds up to 9, then it can't be 1, 8, it can't be 2, 7, it can't be 3, 6 by rule, and it can't be 4, 5. So it doesn't add up to 9, it does add up to 12. That there is a 3, that's a 9. That makes that a 9. And that's not a 9, and that is. That makes this a 3 and a 9. This 7 makes this a 2. That's a 7. All right, this is a 1, 2, or 4, and it's not a 4. So that's a 1 or a 2. And that makes this a 4. So that makes this 4. Okay, this has to be, so black is 1 is double the other. And sums to 12 because it's a square circle. And that indeed does make that 8. That makes that 1 and that 8. That is not a 4. That's not a 4. This is 3 and 2, and this 2 tells me the order. So that's 3. That's 2. That is a 1 or a 6. Don't think I yet know the order. Right, this digit is 6. These two are 3 and 7, and I do know the order of those. These two digits are now 2, 3, 4, and 7. No, 4 and 6. And I know the order, 4 and 6. This 6 makes this 2 and this 6, which makes this a 1. We need 2 and 8 up here. And curiously, that is as yet unresolved. Okay, this 4 means that that is not, and this is. All right, we have a white dot. These have to be consecutive, and they sum to 15 being a square. So that's 8. That's 7, which resolves finally this otherwise deadly pattern. This 8 is makes that 2, and that 8. This 8 makes this a 1. This 8, 1. That's 8. That's 1. That's 8. This 1 makes this 2 and 1, which resolves my 2 and 6. And that resolves my 1 and my 6. And then I need a 1 and a 2 to finish off. And that is a lovely puzzle, and would not be nearly as interesting without the fog. But that's a novel rule set, but I really, really liked it. And certainly a lot to think about. If you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.